Watching Times now with me, Akanksha Khajuria. Our top focus remains on the blast in the national capital. We're learning that Home Minister Amit Shah has said the top investigating agency are probing at the blast near the Red Fort with full intensity and will go in depth into the explosion which took place in the I-20 car yesterday. That is just 12 hours back. Amit Shah also said that all the angles are being probed by the investigators and that no possibility is being ruled out right now. And when specifically asked if it was a terror attack, Home Minister Amit Shah said that it is difficult to say what really caused the incident until the samples are recovered from the blast site that are being analysed by the forensic teams and the NSG as well. We're learning that as now teams of the Delhi Police, NIA, NSG and FSL have started the probe and that the Home Minister will be holding a high-level meeting with the top officials today to analyse the blast as far as a loss of 8 people's life is concerned. We'll get you the ground reports, but first stop listening to what the Home Minister said.
देखिए, हम सभी एंगल्स को ओपन रखकर सभी दृष्टि से जांच कर रहे हैं। घटना किस कारण से हुई ये अभी कहना बहुत मुश्किल है। जब तक विस्फोट के स्पॉट पर से जो स्पेसिमेंस मिलेंगे, इसका जब तक एफएसएल का एनालिसिस, एनएसजी का एनालिसिस नहीं होता, इसके बारे में कुछ भी कहना दिक्कत है। मगर हम किसी भी एंगल को बंद नहीं मानते हैं। सभी एंगल का हम दृढ़ता के साथ आगे जांच करें।
Well, that has been the official statement coming in from the Union Home Minister himself, who was present at the site and then visiting those who have been injured at the hospital there. But let's introduce Pathikrit, Payne, who is also connected with us. Of course, we will be talking about all the possible angles there. Could it be a coincidence when it comes to all the linkages that have been drawn? But Pathikrit, I'm going to quickly connect with a reporter as well at LNJP, where we are told that all of those who have been injured, who have been receiving treatment officially, Isha, for now, we're getting the figure of the death toll going up to at least 8. What are you hearing from the hospital sources?
So the Loknayak Hospital in their release later last night stated that they are reporting at least 13 dead bodies. However, the Home Minister Amit Shah stated that the death toll is at 8. But we have spoken to a lot of the family members of those who lost their lives in the blast. They came in and they stating that they're unable to identify the bodies of their family members, and that is what is currently in the process. In fact, this entire area you can see here as well. This area is cordoned off. There is a lot of security here as well. But what we are seeing on the ground, Amita, is that family members of those who are desperate to find whereabouts of their loved ones are coming here. They are desperately trying to know if their loved ones lost their lives in the blast and how their body can be identified. In fact, we spoke to one of them and he said that they've identified the car of his brother but still not able to identify his body, and that is what is currently happening. In fact, 8 deaths have now been reported so far. In fact, there is a team of Delhi Police which is currently going inside the LNJP hospital as well as now we speak as well. Okay. So this area is seeing a lot of vehicles coming in. A lot of authorities definitely queuing in as well.
All right, we'll be tracking all the ground updates there. Isha joining us from the LNJP hospital. Pathikrit, what is your reading as far as what has happened in the last 12 hours alone? And of course, can there be any linkages drawn, especially when it comes to the beginning of the year? What all has been happening with regards to terror attacks?
Good morning. See, if you look at what has been happening over the last 6 months, the kind of inflammatory statements coming from both Pakistan and Bangladesh in terms of waging war against India. If you see, almost on a monthly basis, every other week, the security agencies have been neutralizing some of the other sleeper modules. You see the kind of arrest that has happened in Gujarat, where they were trying to create ricin, which is extremely poisonous and it can kill, without any antidote, a large number of people. And the seizure that happened in Faridabad. I think what happened yesterday is perhaps one of those sleeper modules trying to either have a premature blast or trying to escape. because they realized that the module that has been caught in Faridabad would eventually reveal the other elements of that module. But I think the danger and the risk is far from over. It's very, very important now for all the citizens to be very, very alert, because this is not just a one-off thing. And I'm very sure the government and the agencies are working on it. But I think we are in a state of war, and the Prime Minister had mentioned when Operation Sindoor got over that henceforth any act of terror will be declared as an act of war. And that's the reason Prime Minister and the government of India is extremely cautious, that they are trying to ensure that all the linkages are properly verified, and then only will they'll declare that this is an act of war, because this will not go unresponded. That is for sure. Pulwama angle for sure is there, but I will not be surprised if there is a very, very proper and solid angle of either Pakistan or Bangladesh or both, or something, because there has been efforts which are being created to create instability within the country, and because many of our adversaries have realized that defeating India in a conventional war is difficult. So we have to be careful. It's so unfortunate that hospitals were always considered sacrosanct, out of bound. But today the hospitals are being used as an alibi for doing terror attacks or planning for terror attacks. It is shocking, and therefore I think it's time that hospitals are also should be defined as critical infrastructures, and the kind of security apparatus generally we see in shopping malls and elsewhere, that kind of thing should be there in hospitals as well. But this is a new dimension of war where hospitals are being used as a front. And that's how terrorism is, that it keeps on evolving, and we have to be on our feet all the time. Back to you.
Absolutely. Pulwama angle has come to the fore, and also the initial investigation has pointed towards, in a way, the involvement of Jaish-e-Mohammed as well. But when it comes to the government, they're very cautious when it comes to the word terror here. But as you also mentioned, and remember, the Prime Minister had also said that any act of attack, in fact, would be considered as the act of terror by the country. So how would you read into that? Could there be involvement of Pakistan in any way as far as this attack is concerned?
It is pretty clear that Pakistan or other organizations across the border have heavily invested in sleeper cells, and that is there. But on the positive side, the government and the agencies have been able to successfully neutralize many of them in the last several years. So what happened is this: yes, as I stated, this is not going to go unresponded, because initially what was seen or presumed to be a CNG blast. The CNG blast does not create that kind of shock waves which creates that kind of mayhem in a vicinity of, say, 300, 400 meters, as is evident in this place. The CNG explosion does not have an impact like this. So either somebody was trying to either move that vehicle away, which is already probably being created or rigged for a terror attack elsewhere for another day, and maybe it had accidentally blasted.
Well, is there Pakistan design written all over it? Of course, this is all part of the investigation that has been taking place. But Pathikrit, thank you for making us understand exactly what could be the geopolitical situation that we are looking as of now, because there has been a strict warning, as the Prime Minister said, that this is a new India that you're looking at. Any such misadventure coming in from Pakistan's side especially will now be considered automatically as an act of war. We'll see exactly what the government agencies do with the leads that they are picking up in this investigation. Back after the show.